Hello and welcome back to part 2 of our DBT core series. If you missed part 1, the link will be in the description below. Part 2 will cover setting up DBT core and then running your first DBT command in the cloud. This guide will specifically utilize Snowflake. If you use BigQuery, Databricks, or Redshift, don't worry because we also have guides made specifically for those cloud data warehouses. The links for those will be in the description below. Before we get started in day 2, there's a couple of prerequisite items we'd like you to address. The first prerequisite that you'll need to complete prior to starting part 2 of this series is to create a GitHub account. After you've created your GitHub account, or if you already had one made, you'll need to fork the repository that is listed in the description below. This repo contains the starting points of a DBT project that we will edit to work with our sample data. To do this, you will also need a text editor. While you can use whatever software you like, I recommend that you download either Visual Studio Code or Atom. The links for these two programs will be provided in the description of this video as well. Once you have those two items completed, open the DBT project YAML file with your text editor of choice, and we are ready to begin. Inside the DBT project file, we need to make a few changes to make this project specific to our sample data. First, we need to change the project name to 𝗧𝗲𝗅𝗁_538. Change the profile to 𝗧𝗲𝗅_538. And then change the model name to, you guessed it, 𝗧𝗲𝗅_538. Under the 𝗧𝗲𝗅_538 model, add a staging and _marts folder that are both materialized as views. Save the changes that we made to the file. Now open the Profiles YAML page. The Profile YAML file provides DBT with the database information that it needs to connect. We will now paste the code block from the written guide. The written version of this guide is available in the description below if you'd like to paste along as well. You will notice that the account and password fields are inputted with an environment variable. We will pass those in later so it is not freely visible to any user that sees our repository. Next, we'll need to create a Python script that will allow us to run DBT core in the cloud. Create a file in the root directory of the repository called __dbt.py. We will paste the code from the guide and save the file. Now that we have our DBT profile set up, we need to create our models that the DBT job will run to transform our sample data. Navigate to the models folder of the repository and delete the example folder. Create a new folder inside models called 538_football. Create two subfolders inside 538football. Name the first subfolder staging and the second subfolder marts. Inside of the staging folder, create a file called stg_football_matches.sql. Enter the following code into that file. Select star from dbt_hol_dev.public.stg_football_matches. Note the quotation marks that are needed inside the query to get it to run inside of Snowflake. Create another file in the staging folder called stg_football_rankings.sql. Enter the following code into that file. Select star from dbt_hol_dev.public.stg_football_rankings. Along with our two SQL files that we just made, we can also add a file called schema.yaml. I will paste the code for the schema file from our written guide. Now that we're finished with our staging folder set up, we can transition into our marts folder. Create a file in the marts folder called mart_football_information.sql. Enter the following code into that file from our guide. Just like in the staging folder, we also need a schema.yaml file in our marts folder. We will paste the code from our guide into this file. Now that our DBT models and setup are complete, we're ready to move into the cloud and deploy DBT core. To do this, we will utilize Shipyard. To begin on Shipyard, we will need to create a free developer account. Navigate over to Shipyard signup page with the link in the description. Sign up with your email address and organization's name. Click to agree to the Shipyard privacy policy and terms of service, then click Create an Account. Now you'll need to verify your email address. After verification, you'll be able to enter your name and the password for your Shipyard account. After you do those things, you can now sign into Shipyard, where you'll be taken to a page where you can select a project. Click Cancel, then you'll be redirected to the All Projects page. Navigate over to the sidebar and click Admin and then Integrations. Click the GitHub integration and then click Add Connection. Sign in to GitHub if you aren't already, then click where you want the Shipyard code sync installed. Click to allow access to all repositories or select repositories. If you select to only allow access to some repositories, then you will need to pick the repo that we have been working with. Click Save. Now that our GitHub integration is set up, we are ready to move in the Shipyard and create a blueprint that will run dbt core. In Shipyard, a blueprint contains design specifications for a repeatable task. Our goal is to create a blueprint that can run dbt core based on the specifications that we set up earlier. To create a blueprint, we will need to navigate to the blueprints by clicking Blueprints on the Shipyard sidebar. Click Add Blueprint on the top right-hand corner. Select Python as your programming language. Under the blueprint variables, click Add Variable. For the display name, enter 𝗃𝗏𝘁𝗃𝐿𝐼 command. Under reference name, enter 𝗃𝗏__ command. Under default value, enter 𝗃𝗏𝑇run. We want to check the box to require this variable to be used. Under placeholder, enter the following text string. Enter the command for dbt. Click Add Variable, then select Next Step. This page is where we will supply our code for the blueprint. Shipyard gives you the ability to write the code directly in the web page. However, we will pull our code in from GitHub. On the web page, select Git, select the repository that we have been working in, click the source that you want the files to be pulled from. Generally, this will be main or master unless you want to pull from a specific branch. Under File to Run, we want to enter _dbt.py. This will tell Shipyard what file to run inside the repository. Under Git Clone Location, select the option for unpacking into current working directory. Select Next Step. This will take us to the requirements page where we can add environment variables along with Python and system packages. Next to environment variables, click the plus sign 3 times to add 3 variables. The first variable is dbt_profiles_dir with a value of a period. The second variable is snowflake_trial_account with your account name as the value. The third variable is dbt_user_password with the password you gave dbt user earlier being the value. We also need to add 2 Python packages to run the Python script that we created earlier. It's important to note that you could also do this in a requirements.txt file inside of GitHub, but we'll do it inside of the Shipyard UI this time. The first package we need to add is dbt with a version of 0.21.1. The second package is markup safe with a version of 2.0.1. After you've added those 2 packages, click Next Step on the bottom right-hand corner of the page. This will take us to the blueprint settings page where you can specify information about your blueprint as well as set up specific guardrails based on retries and runtime cutoff. Let's name our blueprint dbt-𝗃𝗏𝘁𝗃𝐿𝐼 commands. Under synopsis, enter "This blueprint runs a dbt core command." Click Save and Finish in the bottom right-hand corner of your page. Then we will click Use this blueprint, which will take us over to the Fleet Builder page to select the project. Since this is your first work inside a Shipyard, we will create a new project to hold our dbt work. Click the drop-down menu to expand it and select Create a new project. Under project name, enter dbt core testing, and under time zone, enter your specific time zone. Click Create Project, and now we can select our dbt core testing project. After selecting our project, we will be taken into the Fleet Builder where we can create our first fleet. There is already a vessel created in our new fleet from the blueprint that we created earlier. In Shipyard, a vessel is like a task or a job, while a fleet is made by connecting vessels together. A fleet can be thought of as a workflow and other applications. Click on the vessel that is already placed in the fleet. This will open up the vessel settings on the left side of the screen. We want to change the automatically generated name to dbt_core_CLI command, and change the dbt_CLI command to dbt_debug. Next, click on the gear button on the left side of your screen to open the fleet settings. Change the name of your fleet to dbt core. Click Save and Finish on the bottom right of your screen. This will redirect us to a page telling us that the fleet has been created successfully. On that page, click Run Your Fleet, which will kick your fleet off to run and take you over to the fleet log page. The fleet log page gives us information about the length and status of the fleet run. The log also gives us a breakdown of each vessel's status and runtime. We can click the Gantt chart or the vessel name to go to the vessel output. On this page, we can see that our DBT command ran successfully. DBT debug running successfully lets us know that the connection between our cloud data warehouse and DBT is set up correctly. Thank you for joining me for part 2 of our DBT core series. You're now ready to move on to part 3. In part 3, we will discuss running our DBT model and exporting DBT's documentation into a cloud data bucket. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to use the intercom button on the bottom right-hand corner of the Shipyard webpage. See you in part 3.